I went in St. Jude's and I realized that 90% of those children with their childhood diseases would die. So if I started an IV on a little child, I would see that they probably had no chance to survive. Today, almost 90% of those children live. It's a rather remarkable. That's exceptional. Who did that? Those nurses and doctors and people who cleaned the floor up and cooked the food and held those children's hands. That's who did it. That is exceptional, folks, to see a country that did that. And I don't want to see that stop in this nation. And I'm afraid with the government takeover of medicine, that could come to a grinding halt. That's a wonderful story to tell. As I said just a minute ago, people and friends like Jimmy Duncan, they're exceptional people. And you do what you do for your friends when they're in need. You see that across this nation all the time. There's a little restaurant in Bulls Gap I stop into 2 or 3 times a year and have breakfast with those folks. And I got a card that all the people that go in there regularly, I'll just go in and shake hands and we'll sit down and eat some food and breakfast together. Wrote a card to me about the loss of my life. That touched my heart. That is exceptional. I had an opportunity 2 years ago to go back. I served in the 2nd Infantry Division in Korea. My son was 6 weeks old when I was in the Army. Only the Army, let me just stop for a minute, and only the Army could dream this up. They said, I was drafted. I went to the mailbox, and so I went to the mailbox, and some of you guys have probably, gals have been in the military, and they gave me this thing called a dream sheet. And the dream sheet says you can pick out where you want to go. So that's not too bad. So I picked the southeastern United States. In my case, they got the direction right, they just got the continent. So I don't know about you, but those of you who've been in the military like I have, I do something positive every day. When I get up, every day of my life, I shine my shoes. I cannot walk out without doing it. I can show you right now, my gig line is still straight. Those of y'all don't know what a gig line is, they'll explain it to you, but your belt buckle and your fly and your shirt are all lined up. I still do that to this day because I was in the infantry at that time. But I had the privilege of going back, and I want to think about this. That country was digging out after a war, a terrible war that flattened the country. And I go over there, and in 1960, they had the same economic output as Afghanistan does today. Same economic output. Today, Korea, and they had a military dictator when I was there. Today, they have a freely elected parliament. I talked to the last 2 prime ministers, and they said, Dr. Rowe, every time you get in front of an audience, you thank the American people for our freedom. You helped us have that. 50 million free people because of what American young people did. 37,000 lives. That's rather exceptional, and that's not even the best part of the story. As I wanted a lot of the troop groups I was with wanted to go to the demilitarized zone, and I said, look, I've seen teenage North and South Koreans stare at each other. I don't need to do that anymore. I went back to Camp Casey where I was stationed. And on the way up there, I saw crosses on the hillside. And I didn't know they weren't there when I was there. And I said, what are those crosses there for? And they said, well, those are the churches in there. I said, well, tell me more about it. The largest Christian church in the world is in Seoul, Korea. 120,000 members. That's what free people can do. And by the way, to all my Baptist friends out there, they're Methodists like I am. Another exceptional story, and I mentioned this with the military. I've had the privilege of being in Afghanistan on a couple of occasions. I've been all over that country. 2001, when we went in there, that country had a life expectancy of 44 years. It's biblical. Almost 50% of the children died before age 5. Think about that. No little girls went to school. During a war, we've actually raised the life expectancy of a nation. Today, 1 child in 15 dies before age 5. That's an exceptional story that isn't being told. Why isn't the president telling that story? But that's remarkable during a shooting war that you've been able to do that. You know who did that? Young men and women who served this military. That's who did that. And they are remarkable young people. Those are just a few of the things, and you see this in science and education and so on. I want to personally thank you all for allowing me to be here tonight. This is the first really public speaking I've done since my wife passed 2 weeks. She died 2 weeks ago this past Thursday. It's left a big hole in my heart. But I want to have our veterans who have served this nation. I want you to stand up, and I want us to thank them for their service so that we can have the freedoms that we have. So if you would please stand up, let's acknowledge them. hold my breath because I'm not sure anybody will stand up. I just wanted to finish. I left one little thing out I was going to mention to you when I was talking about budget. But does anybody in this room feel undertaxed? Just suppose that as a hypothetical, but I was looking at my phone bill the other day, and again, Pam wrote these, and I shouldn't do this because I just get totally irritated when I do that. But I was just thinking about the taxes, and the Democrats always need a little bit more of your heart on the money. Not that they do a little less, if we just raise your taxes a little bit and let me spend it, it'll all be good. It'll all be fine. Just trust me. I'll take care of it. I started thinking on the way down here, well, we pay income tax, state and local. We don't in Tennessee pay local. Many people do. Sales taxes, inheritance taxes, Medicare, Social Security, gas taxes, toll roads, individual mandate tax. If you don't buy what the government tells you have to buy, in health care, we're going to tax you for that thanks to Judge Roberts. Hotel, motel taxes, water and utility fees, airport, rental car fees, those really irritate me. The North Carolina communications tax, I pay one of those on a cable bill. FCC administrative fee, liquor tax, cigarette tax. Now you bad business, okay? The federal universal service charge, the regulatory charge, the administrative, it's on your phone bill. The Tennessee State 911 fee, Tennessee State sales, local sales, on and on and on. Look, this is ridiculous. And it's not that government has too little money, it's that it spends too much money. And it's up to people like you all to put people like us in there who will turn the spigot of that money off and leave it with the people who earned it. That's you, the taxpayers. So that's our goal to be up there. I know it's Jimmy Duncan's goal. I really do sincerely thank you all for allowing me to come down. And I know the hard work that you did was to put this together. And it's always the Republican women and leaders like you that put these successful dinners together. Thank you for your strong support of conservative principles. And I can assure you, you've got one in the corner, and you have another one in me in the corner. And if you're ever in D.C., I would appreciate you stopping by my office. I appreciate the privilege of being here. Thank you all. God bless each and every one.